Hello, dear students. Hope all of you are good in these holidays and all are enjoying with the video classes. So, in the determinant chapter, we have studied about minors and cofactors of a matrix. Minors and cofactors, and we have solved some of the problems of that also. Next, we are going to discuss with the topic that is adjoint of a matrix. So, what is adjoint of a matrix? Adjoint of a matrix, this is a term defined for a square matrix. So, adjoint of a square matrix is a matrix or the transpose of the matrix Aij. Adjoint of a matrix is the transpose of the matrix. Transpose of the matrix Aij. So we know that what is Aij. The capital Aij is a matrix. It is called the cofactor. Aij is called the cofactor. So when we take the after finding the cofactors, we have to take the transpose of that matrix. So that becomes the adjoint of the matrix. Adjoint of the cofactor matrix. So adjoint of a matrix, adjoint of a square matrix is the transpose of the matrix Aij, where Aij is the cofactor of Aij. Cofactor of Aij. So adjoint of a matrix A, how we denote that adjoint of a matrix A? If the matrix is A, then the adjoint of A is denoted by adjoint of A, just edge of A, that indicates adjoint of a matrix A. Adjoint of matrix A. So this is about adjoint of a matrix. So what is how we can write adjoint of a matrix? So adjoint of a matrix is a transpose of. So what is that matrix? Transpose of cofactor matrix. So cofactor matrix is A11, A12, A13, then A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. So this is the cofactor matrix, means cofactor of each element we have written together. So cofactor matrix. So transpose of this will be, this is equal to, the first row becomes first column. So A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. So adjoint of a matrix, adjoint of a square matrix is a matrix obtained by a transpose of a cofactor matrix. Transpose of a cofactor matrix. So this is about the adjoint of a matrix. So how to find it? What is the example I can give? So if I take a 2 by 2 matrix, what is the adjoint? How to calculate the adjoint? So before calculating adjoint, first we have to calculate what is the cofactor of each element. So if I consider matrix A is equal to, so this is the matrix. We have to calculate, first we have to calculate cofactor. So A11, so we know that what is A11? A11 cofactor of a matrix is what? Minus 1 to the power 1 plus 1 into a minor of that matrix. So minor of a first element is obtained by deleting the first row and first column. So I have to delete first row and first column. So we get minus 1 to the power 1 plus 1 into 5. So it will be 5. Then A12 is equal to minus 1 to the power 1 plus 2 into, otherwise no need to write this minus 1 to the power every time. We know that this will be plus, minus, then it is minus and plus. So likewise we can make out. So minus 1 to the power 1 plus 2, by deleting this we get it is 4. So this is minus 4, and A21 is equal to minus 1 to the power 2 plus 1 into, by deleting second row and first column, second row and first column, it will be 3 into 3 is equal to minus 3. Then A 2 is equal to minus 1 to the power 2 plus 2 into deleting second row and second column, we get it is 2, so is equal to 2. So after that, what we have to write, this is the cofactors of element. Then we have to write cofactors of cofactor matrix. If you want, you can write cofactor matrix. Cofactor matrix. So what is a cofactor matrix? So how it is written, same wise we have to write A11, A12, A21. So 5 minus 4, 5 minus 4, 3 minus 3 and 2. So this is the cofactor matrix. It is a cofactor matrix. Then after cofactor matrix, adjoint of A is equal to transpose of that cofactor matrix. So this will be equal to transpose of 5 minus 4 minus 3 and 2. So this is the adjoint of a given matrix, given 2 by 2 matrix, adjoint of given 2 by 2 matrix. So likewise, we can calculate the adjoint of 2 by 2 matrix as well as 3 by 3, 4 by 4 anyway, but we are restricting only for 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 matrices. So here this is, so one more thing what we can observe here is, so if it is a 2 by 2 matrix, so what is the adjoint we got now? If it is a 2 by 2 matrix, so the adjoint of a matrix is obtained by interchanging these two elements, principal diagonal, by only for, this is only for 3 by 3 matrix, 2 by 2 matrix, not for other matrices, 3 by 3 matrices. Only in the 2 by 2 matrix, the adjoint of a given matrix is obtained by interchanging these two elements, and by changing the sign of these elements. By interchanging the principal diagonal, we have interchanged the principal diagonal and we have changed the sign of other elements. So that way we can find out the adjoint of a 2 by 2 matrix. Adjoint of a 2 by 2 matrix. So one note you can write, the adjoint of a 2 by 2 the adjoint of a 2 by 2 matrix can be obtained easily by interchanging A11 and A22 elements, and by changing the sign of A12 and A21. By changing the sign of A12 and A21, interchanging A11 and A22, and by changing the sign of A21 and A12. So that is easily we can find out what is the adjoint of 2 by 2 matrix. Similarly, we can find out what is the adjoint of 3 by 3 matrix also. So similarly, first we have to find out what is the cofactor. You know how to find the cofactor. To find the cofactor, we have to calculate minor. So after finding the minor, we can find out what is the cofactor of the matrix. So this is about adjoint of a matrix. So there are some of the proof or some of the results or definitions or theorems we can say. Let A be a given square matrix of order n if we can write one of the theorem. If A be any square matrix of order n, square matrix of order n, then adjoint of A into A is equal to A into adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A into I is equal to determinant of A into I, where I is the identity matrix. I is the identity matrix. So this is one of the main theorem. What is this theorem? This theorem is oftenly we use. So what is that? If A is any square matrix, so adjoint is defined only for square matrices. If A is any square matrix, then adjoint of A into A is equal to A into adjoint A is equal to determinant of A into I. So how we can prove that? So I'll take one matrix A and adjoint of A. I'll take A is equal to a matrix A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. If I take this is the matrix and I'll take adjoint of A is equal to, we know it's transpose of a cofactor matrix, so it will be A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. So this is adjoint of a matrix and given matrix. So now what we have to do is we have to multiply adjoint A into A or A into adjoint A. So A into adjoint A we have to multiply A into adjoint A. So this will be equal to, so when you multiply A into adjoint A, we can see how to multiply first row and first column. So we get it as A11 plus A12 plus A12 plus A13 plus A13. So what is that? Yesterday we have studied the Aij element, the element of any row, if it is multiplied with the cofactors of same row, then that is will be equal to, that gives the determinant of a given matrix. Now this is the element of a row. So this row is multiplied with their corresponding corresponding cofactors. So A11 cofactor is A11, A12 cofactor A12 and A13 cofactor A13. Now when it multiplies, that gives the determinant. So the first element gives determinant of that matrix itself. So next one, A11, first row and second column, A11, A21, A12, A22, A13, A23. So that means A11 plus A11, A21 plus A12, A22 plus A13, A23. That means this element, the first row is multiplied and sum of the, what is that? Sum of the elements of this first row is multiplied with the cofactors of other row. So in that case, if it is multiplied with cofactors of other rows, then the elements will be then the sum will be 0. So this element is a 0. Similarly, first row and next one, again this element multiplied with the cofactors of other row, so this will be 0. Similarly, second row and first column, if I consider as multiplied with other row, so it will be 0. Then we can see this will be A21, A22, A23. Now multiplies with the A21, A22, A23 means the cofactors of same row, so that will be determinant of A. And this will be again multiplies with other row 0, so it will be multiplied with other row, and again the last one is this R3 multiplies with the cofactors of same row, therefore that gives determinant of A. Now you can see this will be the matrix, not the determinant. This is a matrix. So from the matrix, here also I can add 0 into determinant of A. This also 0 into determinant of A, 0 into determinant of A. That means determinant of A is common. So this will be equal to determinant of A into a identity matrix. 0 into a identity matrix. Therefore this is equal to determinant of A into I, determinant of A into I. So when you calculate adjoint A into A, you can find out what is adjoint A into A also. When you calculate adjoint A into A, so what happens again, this first A11, A21, A31 multiplies with the A11, A21, A31. That means what? Again, same row and same row and same cofactor. So again, we'll get a determinant of A, and other, if I multiply with the second column, then cofactors of other row multiplies with one more row. That means that will be 0. Again, we are getting the same value. Again, that is equal to determinant of A. Therefore, similarly, first you can write similarly, adjoint of A into A is equal to determinant of A into I. Therefore, A into adjoint A is equal to adjoint A into A is equal to determinant of A into I is equal to determinant of A into I. So this is one of the important result. Okay. So this is one of the theorem, very important theorem also. The next one, there is already we have studied some types of matrices. Identity matrix, square matrix, and also symmetric, skew symmetric matrices. So there are other type of matrices. So that is defined for square matrices. In terms of square matrices, so what is that? A square matrix A is said to be singular. One more definition. A square matrix A is said to be singular if is said to be singular if determinant of A is equal to 0. Determinant of A is equal to 0. So this matrix is called a singular matrix. So example, A is equal to so if I consider this is the example, then what is the determinant of this? Determinant of A is equal to 3 6 is 18, 9 2 is 18. So 18 minus 18 equal to 0. Therefore, this matrix is called singular matrix. So one more definition: a square matrix A is said to be non-singular if determinant of A is said to be non-singular if determinant of A is not equal to 0. If determinant of A is not equal to 0, then that matrix is called non-singular matrix. That is called the non-singular matrix. So what is the example you can give? Example, any matrix. So determinant will be 2 minus 12 is minus 10. This is not equal to 0. So this is an example for a example for a non-singular matrix. So this is very important one, singular and non-singular matrices. So one more definition you can write. After this you can write one more definition. If A and B are any two matrices of same order, that is also non-singular matrices, then if A and B are any two matrices of same order, that matrices are non-singular, then determinant of AB and BA also non-singular. AB and BA also non-singular. A and B are any two matrices, that is singular matrices, then AB and BA also singular matrices, that is also non-singular matrices. So this is one more definition. You write down this definition also. Next theorem is, we have studied one theorem, that is determinant, if matrices are non-singular, then that AB and BA are also non-singular. And the next statement or next theorem is the determinant of the product of matrices determinant of the product of the matrices equal to product of determinants. That means determinant of AB is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B, determinant of A into determinant of B. So determinant of product of matrices, which is equal to product of determinant of corresponding matrices. So this is one more theorem. Here both A and B are having same order. That also you have to mention. So these are the theorems I have given now. Next, so one more note we can write. So we have A into adjoint A or adjoint A into A. We have adjoint A into A is equal to determinant of A into I, or I can write it as a matrix determinant of A into I. So determinant of A is a number into identity matrix. So I can write it as a determinant of A 0 0, then 0, determinant of A 0 0 0, determinant of A 0 0, determinant of A. So this will be determinant of matrix, determinant of the this is what we know, we have studied, we have proved this result. Then if I take a determinant both the sides, take determinant both the sides, take determinant both the sides. If I take determinant both the sides, so what we get now, if I take determinant both the sides, then this here also I have to take determinant of adjoint A into A is equal to determinant of adjoint A into A, that is equal to determinant of that matrix. Determinant of that matrix. So already I have told now the adjoint A is also a matrix, A is also a matrix, both are having same order. Then I have already told the product of two matrices, the determinant of product of two matrices equal to the product of determinants. Therefore I can write this as determinant of adjoint A into determinant of A. So this will be equal to, already we have studied determinant. If it is a matrix, means we can take determinant of A is a number, that determinant A how many times? Only once if it is a matrix. Now it's a determinant, means we can take common terms row wise or column wise. So I have to take determinant A common from R1, then determinant A common from R2, determinant A common from R3, or I can go column wise also. Here I can take A once, here once, and here once. So how many times I can take common that determinant A? So determinant A is common how many times? 3 times. So determinant of A cube. So if I take determinant of A, then the remaining will be 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. 0, 0, 1. So now it is a determinant value. So if I expand along R1, R2, R3 or any way, so the determinant will be 1 into 1. So we get it is a determinant value will be 1. Therefore it is a adjoint of A into determinant of A is equal to determinant cube. So one determinant we can cancel here, determinant of A and determinant of A we can cancel. So we get it is adjoint, determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant A square, determinant A square. So determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant of A square. So this is a very important result. Determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant of A square. So now here we have taken A is a matrix of order 3 by 3 square matrix. Adjoint A is defined only for square matrix. So no need to mention again it is a square matrix. So but in generally what we can say now it is a matrix of order 3 by 3 matrix. If it is 3 by 3 matrix, then the determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant of A square. So how we can write this as determinant of determinant A to the power 3 minus 1 to the power 3 minus 1 since it is a matrix of order 3, matrix of order 3. In generally how we can write? In generally if A is a square matrix of order n, then in general if A is a square matrix of order n, then determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant of A to the power n minus 1 to the power n minus 1. So this is the one more result. Usually we this will be asked for a competitive exam. Determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant of A to the power n minus 1. So this is one main concept or one main note. So make a note of this. Suppose if I give A is a matrix of order 4, then what is the determinant of adjoint A? That will be equal to determinant of A to the power 3, 4 minus 1 to the power 3. So that is a main one. So next one more theorem, important one. Next theorem, very important theorem. A square matrix A, we know what is invertible or inverse. So when we call it is invertible, any matrix is invertible. Invertible means inverse exists. So here also we have already calculated inverse of a matrix. So sometimes while calculating, if we get any row or column is a 0, all the elements are 0, then we have told that inverse does not exist. That means that matrix is not invertible. So similarly, that is in the chapter matrix we have studied. Now we are discussing about determinant. So using determinant, how we can find out the inverse, and using determinant, how we can make out whether this given matrix is invertible or not. That means inverse exists for a given matrix or not. So if A is a square matrix, already we know that inverse we have calculated only for the square matrices. A is a square matrix, A square matrix A is invertible if and only if, or I can add if and only if, or if and only if and only if A is a non-singular matrix. If and only if A is a A is a non-singular matrix. A square matrix A is invertible if and only if A is a non-singular matrix. So we have to prove. Now it is if and only if means there are two conditions. If it is invertible, then it is non-singular. If it is non-singular, then it is invert. There are two conditions. One is if condition and one is only if condition. So if it is invertible, we have to prove it is non-singular, and we have to show if it is non-singular, we have to prove it is invertible. You know what is invertible and what is non-singular. Invertible means inverse exists. Then non-singular means determinant of A is not equal to 0. First I'll consider a matrix is invertible. Matrix is invertible. A is invertible. A is invertible. A is invertible matrix. Invertible matrix of order n if I consider, order m n is if I consider, and if A is the invertible matrix of order n, already we know that what is invertible? Invertible's inverse exists. So when we call it is inverse exists, there exists one more matrix B such that AB into BA is equal to I. AB into BA is equal to I. A is the invertible matrix of order n, then there exists a matrix. There exists a matrix of order n such that AB is equal to BA is equal to. There exists a matrix B of order n. There exists a matrix B of order n such that AB is equal to BA is equal to I, where I is the identity matrix. Where I is the identity matrix. So we got AB is equal to I and BA is equal to I. So after that what we have to say now, if AB and BA is equal to I, then already we know that. So this implies AB is equal to I. Either I can take AB is equal to I or BA is equal to I. So AB is equal to I. Then AB is equal to I, and already we know that the determinant of now we have to get in terms of determinant. Non-singular means we have to go for determinant. So we have to take determinant value here. So AB is equal to I. Already we know that the determinant of product of any two matrices is equal to product of that. So if I take determinant of AB is equal to determinant of I. So this implies determinant of A into determinant of B is equal to determinant of I is 1. Determinant of I is equal to 1. So what it shows now? So this shows the product is 1. Here determinant is a number. We know the determinant is a real number. So this here also real number, here also real number. The product of that will be 1 implies this cannot be either determinant B or determinant A cannot be zeros. If it is zeros, obviously we have to get it is 0 since it is a numbers. So this implies what? Determinant of A is not equal to 0. So this implies A is a singular, A is a non-singular matrix. A is a non-singular matrix. So we have taken it is invertible and we got it is a singular matrix. So this is the one implication we have proved. So what is the next implication? We have to take it is the matrix is non-singular. We have to take matrix is non-singular. Then we have to simplify. We have to get it is invertible. Let A is non-singular. That is determinant of A is not equal to 0. Already we have studied one of the result that adjoint of A into A is equal to A into adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A into I. Determinant of A into I. So this we know very well. This we have proved this result also. So next we know that determinant of A is not equal to 0. So I can divide this determinant of A. I can divide throughout this equation by determinant of A. So if I divide throughout means everywhere I have to divide. So this becomes adjoint of A divided by determinant of A into A, or I can write along with this also, or along with this. So this is equal to A into adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. This will be equal to I. This will be equal to I. So now we got one relation. I'll combine these together. I'll write this together. So now we got adjoint A is a matrix and determinant A is a number. So again this will be a matrix. So one matrix into A, that is equal to A into that matrix, that is equal to I. That is equal to identity matrix. So we know that if A is a square matrix, then there exists one more matrix B such that AB is equal to BA is equal to I. Then B is called the inverse of the matrix. Inverse of the matrix, and A is invertible. That is our conclusion. So this implies what? Now this implies, so A adjoint A by determinant A into A into adjoint determinant of A is equal to I. This implies A is invertible. A is invertible, and inverse is given by adjoint A by determinant A. Adjoint A by determinant A. So this implies A is invertible. A is invertible, and A inverse is equal to either 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of A. Adjoint of A. So A inverse 1 by determinant of A in adjoint A. So this proves A is invertible and determinant of A. So this result is very important wherever when we solve the problems. This will be very important and very useful also. So we have studied about adjoint and we have studied some of the results also. Using that results, we will simplify some of the problems. Thank you.